Hi, this is Steve, my business partner Austin, and today we're going to look at which to use between these three for building websites: WordPress, Squarespace, or Wix. And as you know, Austin picks out some awesome cities and towns for us up there. So we got King of Prussia, Pennsylvania to the eye doctor, which is pretty interesting. And I am going to the eye doctor today, so it has a little more to it. So the core question is, um, since we're building these for customers, it helps to have scalability. We need things that are fairly easy to work on. We don't want a ton of maintenance on them, that type of thing. So what's best for that? Let's look at WordPress first. And for agencies, the huge advantage to that is the SEO results are very good for WordPress. You have flexibility. You can build anything. Um, the plugins you've got Yoast and Rank Math, which are SEO plugins. We've got schema plugins. So it's great for that. And there's all kinds of other plugins. Let's say you use MailPoet for your email marketing. We've got that. We've got WooCommerce if you're doing e-commerce stuff. So there's something in there that you can use for almost anything you can think of. There's probably a plugin for it. You own the hosting relationship, so the recurring revenue comes to you. So you get like a reseller site or whatever you're comfortable with, and then you sell that hosting to the customer. So you basically bank off of that. There's a lot of interesting page builders, Beaver Builder, Divi, Elementor. All those are very visual, easy to work with. Another last advantage to WordPress is it's easy to rank locally with this. Google likes the structure of WordPress, so it helps in that. What are the cons? Well, there's a big learning curve for WordPress because there's so many different themes and so many things to know that even when you know one theme, one system, when it changes over, it's difficult. You're never really totally confident. You're always kind of learning on the fly. It does require, you need your own hosting, so you've also got to maintain it, do the updates, update the security. You want to have some kind of security plugin. So all those things you got to do with WordPress. There's a lot more moving parts. Pieces have to work together. Sometimes you'll have a plugin to do one thing and a plugin to do another thing, and they counteract each other and throw things off. So all these problems are things you could have. And so it's just one of those things, but so that you have to deal with WordPress if you want to use that. From an agency angle, WordPress has high value. People like the way it looks. They like the way it builds. Everybody likes the SEO results from it. Google Business Profile integration and schema markup on WordPress is top notch. Easily the best that there is. One WordPress client can bring you in from 300 to 800 or even more in recurring revenue all the time. Let's look at Squarespace. What is that good for? Well, that's good for creative businesses, portfolios, simple service businesses. I think I'm going to pull up Squarespace. I'll take a look at what that looks like. And you'll get an idea what I mean. So these sites look very nice. If you're dealing with creative people, painters, anybody who beauty is important to, Squarespace is very nice. And everything's included in it. So hosting, domain, the SSL, which I didn't talk about in WordPress, but most all your hosting will provide that. Everything's included in this. So even clients can handle this themselves. So when you turn it over to them, they're usually able to do it. Low maintenance, not much goes wrong. Good for non-techies. And it's, like I said, this looks very nice. It's just a clean website. And it's if you sell flowers, anything like that, these are great for that. Beauty salons, obviously, as we're seeing this. Anything where the word beauty's in it, Squarespace is excellent. There's a limited SEO on this compared to WordPress. There's the plugins are restricted, so you don't have a great access to extra stuff. Harder to customize, less control over the site speed, that type of thing. And if you're looking for local SEO build, I would not go this route. Although if you are going into some kind of creative, you specialize in something creative, that's when I would consider this. These are great, quick, low maintenance builds, but your upsell potential is very, very limited, and people will end up being able to figure out how to work, even fix these themselves as opposed to hiring you. I'm going to turn it over to Austin. He's going to talk about Wix and look at all these together at some point.
Okay, I can go to Wix.com. Let's stop on. Oh man. Okay, there we go. So for pros for Wix, it's best for very small businesses like solo entrepreneurs, do-it-yourself clients. The pros are it's like easy drag and drop editor as they're kind of showing. Very beginner friendly. The SEO whiz gives good basic guidance on SEO. It's all in one like Squarespace. Fast to launch, something simple, and it's improved significantly over in the recent years. Some cons is the SEO capabilities still lag behind WordPress. It's got weak scalability as a business grows. The code structure is less clean and can hurt the technical SEO. Agency tools exist, but they're limited, and clients often build their own Wix site before hiring you, so it can be messy to work with. Wix is often what a lot of clients come to you with, like they have a Wix site and they're like not happy, so it's not usually what you want to build on, but it's up to you. I'd say it's probably harder to justify charging a premium price if you build your site on Wix. So that's why for agencies, WordPress is probably the best move, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it pairs best with GBP optimization and local SEO. It gives you the most upsell and retainer opportunities. Positions you as a serious agency, not just a website guy. Everyone's got a website guy, so you don't need to try to fill a hole that's already filled. And tools like Beaver Builder are basically make it easy as Squarespace. So that's why WordPress is a pretty good tool to build your websites on.
I just add one thing to what Austin said, and that is that he said something interesting about web design, because we don't really want to even compete with web designers. We want to be complete marketers for the business. So when you're trying to compete against people to make websites, they make all kinds of crazy fancy websites that we really aren't interested in doing. That's not what we're about. We're about bringing extra money for our clients. And so that's all we're concerned with. So at the end of the day, we don't really even want to compete. If somebody, if we're trying to talk to somebody and they say we have a web designer, we'd say, oh, great, we're not trying to compete with that. We do something completely different. We help market it all, and we tie in the website with everything else and have a complete marketing system. And that's what sells a lot better. If you're getting value out of these, please give us a like, a comment, and subscribe, because we're working hard to help you with these things, and we're doing this every day, so it really helps us. It keeps us motivated, gets us going. We'll see you tomorrow.